Hello everyone, this is RetroFuture, and I have some Overwatch gameplay for you, and I am playing as Sombra. Yeah, I know, I don't really play as Sombra all that much. Believe it or not, I've hardly played with her at all, with the exception of the last week. In the last week or so, I picked her up. I even created a Smurf account devoted just to playing Sombra. I literally just play Sombra, and nothing but Sombra, just for lols and trolls. It's like kind of a joke Smurf account, but when I was doing that, I actually had a lot of fun playing with her, so now I'm playing more with her on my main account. But I'm going to talk about what I like and don't like about Sombra, and how I think she's going to fit into the upcoming meta changes that are going to happen in Overwatch. So let's get right into it. What's up? What changes are coming up? Well, Orissa's going to be coming out, I'm not sure exactly when, but when she does come out, we're going to get some patches. Zenyatta and Ana are getting reworked a little bit. Not when I say reworked, I mean they're going to be changed a little bit. Ana's getting her biotic grenade, the damage it inflicts and the amount that the damage that it inflicts is reduced, but it still heals for a fair amount. She heals herself for a fair amount because that's her only sustainability. So she really needs that. So they were going to nerf that, but Blizzard went back on that. But one thing they did go back on that I thought was a huge setback for Zenyatta was his Discord Orb. Originally, they were going to make it so that Zenyatta's Discord Orb would go through barriers like Rhine Shield, Winston Barrier, but they decided to pull back on that, and now Zenyatta's Discord Orb will behave like it normally does, and it will only latch on when there's nothing blocking or impeding the Discord Orb. So if there's a Winston bubble, a Zarya bubble, Rhine Barrier, Zenyatta's Discord Orb will not attached to anyone through that. So Winston's also getting his bubble buff. He's getting his the cooldown on his bubble will be immediately started once his bubble gets thrown down, instead of waiting until his barrier is destroyed or until it expires. So with all this in mind, and Orisa coming out as well right around the corner, I really think that Sombra's in a good spot to actually be a strong pick in the meta. I don't think she's going to define the meta, but I do think that all these characters that are receiving buffs, I think that Winston getting buffed, Ana slightly getting nerfed, Zen not really changing at all. A lot of people were looking for Zen Discord Orbs to be able to help take down barriers, or the characters who were putting up the barriers, but now that that's not taking place, I really think that Sombra is going to actually be more prevalent than she already was going to be. I think that Sombra is going to be considered a respectable pick, a desirable pick, and I don't think people will criticize you or mock you for picking her. I think that she's going to be a character that is actually respectable, and she'll have a firm place in the meta. Like I said, I don't think she'll define the meta. I'm pretty sure that won't happen, but Sombra's been in this weird spot ever since she came out. When Ana first came out, since then, Ana's had to be repeatedly, touched and toned down here and there because she was put in such a strong position when she first, since she first came out. Sombra, I think because of that, when the developers at Blizzard released Sombra, they were too hesitant to make Sombra too strong, so they were just waiting to rework her. I don't think so. But however, they did rework Sombra, and they made it so that she's getting, that her hacking ability is faster, that her recall ability, when she teleports back to her beacon, like the cooldown on that is reduced. Sombra is getting a little bit of love now, and this upcoming meta change with all the patches to Ana, to Winston, as well as Orisa coming out, I think this is going to make Sombra much more relevant. It'll actually make her more in tune with the meta. I think she's going to have a firm place in the meta. I think she's going to be much more respectable of a pick, and she's not going to be the character she's not going to be a joke character, because in my opinion, she was like a joke character and more of just a nuisance, but not a real significant threat, to the point where she was a superbly dangerous pick in the meta, especially when I played comp. But now that I think she will be now a more respectable and dangerous pick in competitive, especially with Orisa coming out, Winston getting some love as well, and Zen not going to be as useful as everyone thought he was going to be. I think that this is going to make Sombra a stronger pick. I think this is going to make Sombra better, and I think she's going to have a firm place in the meta now. The fun thing is, I've actually I actually like Sombra a lot. I think she's now one of my favorite DPS characters. You know, I still like McCree. I'm still, you know, playing around with Soldier here and there. But I really like Sombra because she's more of my speed in terms of, I'm not like, you know, like she's a different kind of DPS character. She's very unique in that she's not a high damage DPS character, whereas just about any other DPS character is all about that damage. It's all about, you know, racking up the damage and getting the kills and securing the kills. Sombra is not like that at all. Sombra is actually quite a respectable character. However, one of the worst things about her is that same thing. She is not able to secure kills. So when you're flanking and getting in the back line, you're not really able to get all the kills all on your own. You know, you can hack enemies, but that doesn't mean you're able to kill them unless your opponents are real bad. But one of the best things about Sombra is that if you have a good team and you EMP enough enemies or the right enemies and your teammates follow up on that, you can put in amazing work. As you see right here, we almost completely capture this point in one push. However, we aren't able to sustain enough of a presence on there with their respawn being so close, and I failed to hack the D.Va. I thought the D.Va was the first thing coming around the corner, and it wasn't. It was an Ana. So one bad hack on my part, and the D.Va was able to completely kick us off the point. Not to mention that the Widow was literally so far back on the map that she immediately gave up, and she had no presence on the objective whatsoever. So that's one thing I like about Sombra, is that she's a different kind of DPS hero. But it's also kind of what I don't like, and is that she is not the difference maker herself. She is not a difference maker. She's not like Genji activating his ult and slaying 2 or 3 enemies, or McCree, or Pharah, you know, able to get 1 or 2 kills and that be the difference. Sombra is more of a, I'm going to sneak up behind you, hack someone, shoot them in the head, cause a distraction, and then get out of there. But she's not really getting the kills all that much. She's not the high damage dealer. She's more of the distraction and the nuisance. And I like the fact that she actually can force Bastion out of his turret form, and which allows Bastion to soak up more damage, because when Bastion's in his recon mode walking around, his Ironclad doesn't take effect and he's much easier to kill. So I like that Sombra has that effect on the meta currently. So, and I think with Bastion being toned down as well, his Ironclad's getting a reduction from 35% damage reduction down to 20%. With that also coming up in the patch, I think that's just going to make Sombra even more useful in countering Bastion. Bastion is not the end of the world. A lot of people, myself included, initially didn't know how to handle Bastion when he first came, when Ironclad was first introduced. And we were kind of like bitching about it, but I now see that Bastion can be countered. However, he requires coordination on you and your team's part. But now that he's getting his Ironclad reduction from 35% down to 20%, he's much more manageable. He's going to be more manageable. However, and I think, like I said, Sombra is going to be more relevant. Sombra is going to actually have a place in the meta now. I'm very thrilled about that. Like I said, I don't think the meta will be revolving around her, but I think she will no longer be a character that if you pick her, other people will question it. I think she will. Those days are behind for now, and I'm really happy for Sombra. I'm happy for her. She finally gets to see a little bit of love in the meta. She gets a place with everyone else now, and it's time for her to shine. And shine brightly, because I'm really excited for her. She's going to be one of my favorite DPS characters to play as, and I'm really happy for her. I'm looking forward to this upcoming Overwatch meta change, and that's it for this video. I will see you guys all later. Thank you for watching, and I will check you guys all out next time.